Okay everyone, so here's a quick one that's showing the other part of the assignment, which is doing some MIDI editing. This will require doing some quantizing, so in other words fixing the timing. Watch the quantize video on that for more explanation, but also how do you change an incorrect note that may have been played in. Again, one of the nice things about MIDI, an advantage over doing audio recording, is that if I play a wrong note as I'm recording it, it's just data, so it's simple to go back in and either type in the right note or drag the right note to where it needs to go to make those type of edits. If you're recording audio, there is some of that you can do, but it's a little more tedious process. It's a very quick process to edit MIDI regions and fix any issues there. So in this particular example, we have 3 regions. They're just color-coded to show that they are 3 different regions. And each one just playing a scale, not very interesting. But on each one, there's a timing issue and there's also a wrong note. So on this first one, if we listen to it, just hit play. Okay, so each note is supposed to be on the beat, and the beat is a 4/4, so it means a quarter note is the beat. So it should be all on every beat. We can hear at the beginning there's one note that's way late. Plus the other notes that are on the beat are a little bit ahead or a little bit behind, so it's definitely not perfectly in time. So what I need to do, if you watch the other video on quantizing, you know that you could either, there's 2 ways you can quantize with the touch of a button essentially in Logic. You can either quantize an entire region, or you can double click and quantize from the piano roll editor, either an individual note or highlight several and do them that way. We are going to be, for this assignment, you're going to do it by the region. So you want to make sure you click on a region, not this one, but this region I want to quantize. I go to my region area. Again, if the inspector is not open, just click the I button. The region I've selected shows up here, so just MIDI region. And then I go down to quantize and I select, in this case, the rhythm that I think will align the best. Again, this one, everything should be on the beat, and the beat is a quarter note. So I would need to quantize it to the closest quarter note. Okay, so all I do is click on it, I click quantize, quarter note, and I can see that it did move within this kind of smaller version of it. If I double click on it to see in more detail, I can also see that the beginning, the start of each line is now perfectly on a beat. Okay, so it has a, the correct timing has been, it's been corrected with quantizing. This does have a wrong note in it, as you can hear. Hopefully you hear that this note that was a wrong note in this major scale. Where it needs to be, I can just drag it around until I kind of find it, maybe do some trial and error, or I know exactly what it should be. That's where it should be, so I just drag it down to where it needs to go. Okay, so I talked through it. That took some time, but really all I need to do is click this, quantize it, drag the note down, and my edit would be done. The second region, as we can hear, goes now suddenly twice as fast. But again, with some timing errors. So, of course, what is twice as fast as a quarter note? Well, that's an eighth note. So if I have 2 notes per beat, now I have eighth notes. So same thing, I'm going to click on the region up top. I'm going to go over to my region area and I'm going to say quantize that to the closest eighth note. And as we can see down below, we saw them move, and if I play it again, and you can also hear that, yeah, there's a wrong note. Happens to be this one that's highlighted. That's perfect. So for the last one, so now we're getting even twice as fast as the previous one. So if I had eighth notes, then twice as fast as an eighth note is going to be a 16th note. So this region should be quantized to the 16th note. So every note needs to move to the closest 16th. So if I do that, I say quantize 16th, and then I listen to it. Well, that was almost right, but there clearly at the beginning was a problem. So what I'm going to do is undo that. I'm going to say undo that quantizing, get back to where it was, and see if we can figure out why didn't that fix the problem. They were supposed to all be 16ths. Well, as you can see down in the piano roll editor, we can look. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's zoom in so we can kind of see. There we go. So we can see how this note's pretty close to a 16th. This one, if you look at it, this left edge, that's the beginning of the note, is it closest to this line or to this line? Well, clearly to the left. So when I quantize that to the closest 16th, which remember a 16th note is every column now, dividing the beat into fours. So that's going to move it to the left. This one, so it needs to move to the closest line, the 16th line. Well, clearly in this case, it's going to move to the right. However, it should be here. This one's going to move to the right, which is right. This one's going to move to the left, which is correct. This one's so close to it anyway. So as you can see, when I click on a region, I hit quantize. Everything is pretty good except for that area because they were too wrong for quantizing to fix that. That's the thing, is quantizing doesn't just magically fix everything. You have to be fairly close to what you're trying to quantize to, because the computer is going to do exactly what you said. Quantizing into 16th note says move any note that's selected to the closest 16th note. And if you're really late, well, that may be the 16th note that is behind where you want it to be. Easy enough to fix, though. I can highlight both or one at a time. Just drag them to the right and it'll kind of snap into place. Drag them to the left, rather. It'll snap right into place, and now we've got it perfectly in time. And you may have noticed that next to last note wasn't quite right. It should have been right there. Okay, so on this particular assignment, that's all you really have to do is quantize by region. So in other words, I should be able to click on a region, look over in the region area and see that you quantize it to the correct value or not. And then you fix the wrong notes within it. That's pretty much it for that assignment, so fairly simple.